Hello ladies and gentlemen, Eccentor here and welcome back to another video. Now I hope all of you are doing well because I am as always, and in this video we're going to be discussing the potential liveries to be coming onto the A380 here in our upcoming Infinite Flight 23.3 update. Now this is a video I've been meaning to make and update with everything in quite a while because it's a pretty anticipated update, this one, the A380. It's something we've all been waiting for a very long time now, and I think it's important to give us a rough idea of what liveries we are to be expecting in this colossal aircraft here, really. So we'll get into that in just a second. But before we get into the video, I'd like to, if you're new here or you are unsubscribed, please do feel free to subscribe because we're really going to push on for that 6,000 now. And hopefully we can get there soon. We're not that far away from 5,000, so hopefully we can get to 6,000 as soon as possible. And I've also released channel members. Now with channel members you will be able to do in-person flights with me. Now we currently do them in our Discord server, but they're not consistent and they're not guaranteed, and I do maybe once a month if that. However, if you become a channel member you'll get access to a private Discord server. And you will have guaranteed flight time with myself, depending on what role you pick, and it's going to be much more inclusive. So the idea of this is to really further engage our community, and hopefully we can all become much closer and have much more fun. So that is the plan with that. Now let's get into these liveries, shall we? Now I'd like to talk about the livery. So I had it open on Wikipedia, which is obviously the best place to get all your information, because when have Wikipedia ever lied to you? But there's about 15 to 20 operators ever of the A380. There's not too many. I'd imagine livery wise we're going to get all of these liveries. Now this is very rare when I say for an aircraft. I expect us to get every livery out there. Now the reason I'm thinking we're going to get all the liveries is because there isn't that many. I think we're going to get quite a lot of them. Now All Nippon Airlines, ANA, the Japanese airline, only operate 3 A380s. However, each of the A380 has a special turtle livery. I'm hoping you guys all know what I'm on about. Not all of you may know what I'm on about. Now, why are we at 300 knots of this altitude? I don't know. But I think many of you will know what I'm roughly on about here with that turtle livery. So I'm expecting to see all 3 of those turtle liveries coming up in our A380. It's much more than expectation. I feel like it's something that would be great to be incorporated into Flight Simulator, because they're just so iconic, these turtle liveries. Now I also think when we think about airlines such as Emirates, I expect to see something like the Expo livery and the generic Emirates livery. Obviously I am hosting huge expectations here with regards to the A380 and what's going to come in the update. I mean, realistically, we're getting a full rework, we're getting a full cockpit, a new cockpit. We'll probably have an interior cabin, we'll have moving doors and everything. And we're going to have some incredible wing flags compared to what we have right now. I mean, Air Austral right here, they don't even appear on our Wikipedia list, but yet, you know, we've got the Air Austral livery. So you never know what's going to be happening here with Infinite. Like, you can never usually tell. They generally throw a lot of curveballs out here with regard to the liveries. So I'll go through all of the current airlines that are on there. So we'll start at the bottom of the list, and we're going to start with Thai International Airlines. We already have the Thai Airways, we've already got that. I don't expect it to go running away, I expect us to keep that. We've also got that Singapore Airlines livery. Again, we've already got that in Infinite Flight. They have 24 of them in real life. I'm not too sure if there are any special ones. That's LaGuardia down there as well for anyone interested. So I don't really expect us to have much of an issue here with regards to these Singapore liveries and the Thai. We also Qatar Airlines and Qantas, really weird, both starts with Q there. Again, between them they operate 22 A380s, 10 for Qatar, 12 for Qantas, and I expect those liveries as well yet again to remain. I don't think Qantas have any special liveries. Qatar might. I believe there might be with Etihad when we get to them in a little bit, like a Man City livery or something, like a football team. Although I'm not too sure how that will go over Infinite Flight with getting the rights to put something like a football team on their liveries. So that's something we might have to have a look into to see whether they can actually legally do that. There's also Malaysia Airlines, Lufthansa as well. 2 great airlines between them, again both having 2014 for Lufthansa and 6 for Malaysia Airlines. already have them both in info flight. We'll probably get the new Lufthansa livery if they're on their A380s. I'm not too sure if they are, but I think we can definitely see them coming here in the upcoming update, and that's something to expect, that new Lufthansa livery. We've also then got Korean Air, already got that again in an info flight, a lovely just blue, sky blue A380, that Korean Air livery. We'll have a look at them once we land on this aircraft here, which will hopefully be very soon. I've got a feeling we're going to get a good landing. So we'll try and bring our aircraft right a little bit, and we can start our final approach. So yeah, I think that Korean Air livery, we're going to remain that here in infinite flight. There's also Etihad Airways. Like I said, they've got all these special football liveries. I'd love to see some of them. Again, with Emirates, I don't know if they have like I know they sponsor Arsenal. I don't know who else Emirates sponsor. They sponsor quite a few football teams, but Etihad sponsor Man City. So obviously I can only think of the English ones as I'm English. But I think there are definitely some huge possibilities here, and I think we will see them in infinite flight. I think it would be great if we can see these liveries come in here in infinite flight, and it's a huge possibility to get them. Now, China Southern Airlines is a livery we don't currently have. They started operation in 2011 as when their A380s entered in service, but I don't think we have a China Southern Airlines one. They only have 5, but I think that'd be a great addition to see that China Southern Airways Airlines. So I think that'd be great to get a Chinese A380 here in infinite flight. We've also got British Airways. I'm not too sure again if they have any special liveries, but they've got 12 A380s. Are very, I see them quite often here actually, especially when I'm in London. You always see an A380, so it feels like they'd have more than 12. Judging by the amount you see them, but maybe they're just very functional British Airways with their aircraft. I'm going to bring our gear down here as well for landing. Now, Asiana Airlines have 6 A380s. We already have them here in infinite flight. I've mentioned all Nippon Airlines getting them, and they're cool turtle liveries. So I'm expecting to see all of them, fingers crossed, but you never know. RFS is another mobile flight simulator who are very good with stuff like that, liveries, and they have almost every livery out there. Bring our spoilers into flight mode because I'm thinking we might be overshooting our height here. And then our final airline is Air France, who have 10 A380s, entered service in 2009, and I think we will already have Air France. So it'd be great to see if that stays here. It'll be interesting to see if any of our A380 liveries disappear. I'm hoping they don't. I mean, most of them pretty much all use. I mean, this Aerostal livery I never see used by users here on Infinite Flight. But of course, there's lots of room here for improvement, and we are coming in with one of the worst approaches I've ever seen for an A380 here. So hopefully we can butter the bread. It's always my favourite bit of the videos, making a great landing here at JFK, runway 22 right, the red runway. So it's not even their active runway. We're now a little bit too low, and there is a cat scratching at my door wanting to come in because I've shut the door so I can be quiet. So I have to let that in just a second, but of course we're going to get a smooth landing first. So I'm going to just apply that rudder here just to try and keep up a bit of centerline. There we go. That wasn't too shabby of a landing. We've made it here in the A380. So that was a great landing. Now let's go to our menu and just show you guys all the liveries we've got right now. You can see them all there: Air France, Asiana, British Airways, Emirates, Etihad. We got obviously the generic. I think we'll keep the generic, and obviously the Airbus livery. That will hopefully come with the new update. We've got the Korean Air, the Sky Blue, like I said, the old Lufthansa. Malay Airlines, again, I think they've got a new livery, so I think we'll see that. Qantas and Qatar here. Singapore, Thai, and we also got Transaero, which again isn't on Wikipedia, but we have that, but I've never seen anyone use that livery. But if you guys did enjoy the video, please do feel free to like, subscribe. I'm going to get this landing up while we do the outro here. And do remember, if you made it this far, always let me know in the comments. I always like to see who makes it this far, because generally no one does, which is quite interesting. However, again, remember, channel memberships are now live, so you can become more with the community. So let's load up this replay, and then we can head off for the day. Now we have an awkward wait. Here we go. So let's just pop over to here to our little landing here. Coming over the runway. Always love to see our landings. Nice and super. I mean, you can see us applying that rudder there just to try and keep on with the centre line, but we didn't do an awful good job. But you know what? I mean, I've seen much better landings. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Good night.